Hey there, how's it going? So what I want to do is I want to show you one of the most profound models I was ever taught by my mentor, Blair singer, Mac Attram. And when I learned this, when I was taught this, when I saw this for the first time, it really blew me away. It had such a profound impact on me because I realized in that moment why it was why it was my action, level of action, that wasn't necessarily determining my results, and I wanted to earn more money. I wanted to get better results. And what I'm about to show you is why action won't necessarily get you better results, because it's down to this one fundamental critical thing that's going to directly impact your results. So let me take you through that now. So whatever it is, you're after some kind of result. You're after a better result, what you're currently getting. So you might want more money. You might want to make more sales. You might want to get more leads or clients. You might want to lose weight. You might want to put on more muscle. You might want to have happier, better relationships with your partner. So you're after a better result. Now, this is affected by our behaviors. The way you behave on a day-to-day basis is going to affect your results. If you don't take any action, you're going to get a result. If you take equally, if you take lots of action, it's going to generate a result. So every single day, our behaviors are creating our results. They're creating the physical, the external results that we see. And this comes from our mindset. Your behaviors, the way you act on a daily basis, is generated from your mindset. Or another way to explain that is your attitude. If you have a very good attitude about life, about taking action, you're going to be taking more action. That's logical. If you have a very weak mindset, and you don't have that attitude where you want to push yourself, you want to succeed, then you're not going to be taking the action. You're not going to be behaving in such a way to get yourself better results. So our mindset, our attitude determines the behavior that we're generating, the behavior that we're doing, the behavior that we're carrying out. So where is it that our mindset and our attitude is derived from? Well, it comes from our beliefs. Now, our beliefs, so for example, a belief could be something like money is the root of all evil. Salesmen are pushy. Salesmen are scammers. These kind of beliefs are going to affect your mindset, your attitude, and they're going to affect your behaviors as well. If you believe money is the root of all evil, do you think that you are going to go out there and you are going to be proactive about earning more money? Because if your belief is about it being evil, nobody wants to be at their core. Nobody wants to be evil. So you're not going to be proactive about that. So you're asking, Tom, where do your beliefs come from? Well, you may have guessed it, but it's coming from your conditioning. And your conditioning is, as you're growing up, as you're going from this young stage to an adult stage, you're being conditioned by your environment, your parents, your school teachers, your friends, the television, the news, adverts you're seeing on TV. They are all conditioning you to create certain beliefs in yourself. So, for instance, let me explain this. Your conditioning, another way to really go deep on this, your conditioning is made up of your self-concept. Now here you ask, Tom, what is self-concept? Well, your self-concept is made up of three things. It's made up of your self-ideals, made up of your self-image, and it's made up of your self-esteem as well. So let me go deeper into this. What does self-ideals mean? Well, self-ideals is who you see yourself becoming when you're growing older, who you're growing into in the future. You may see yourself as growing into somebody like Nelson Mandela or JFK, successful businessmen like Elon Musk or Richard Branson. For other people, they may have self-ideals that aren't of such high regard, and they don't see themselves as becoming or growing into somebody who's going to make a real impact, going to make a real change. Also, your self-image. What is self-image? Well, self-image is when you get up in the morning, when you look in the mirror, who is it that you see? If you see a loser in the mirror looking back at you, then this is not going to help you. This is going to really affect you, and this is going to really disempower you. So it's, your self-image is who you see when you look in the mirror. And lastly, your self-esteem. Now, your self-esteem is over time, it's beaten out of you, it's suppressed, it's reduced. And why is that? Because when you're growing up, when you're going through school, we have certain situations happen to us, and you might have a dream, you might have an idea, and you share it with somebody, you share it with a group of friends, and you're excited by it, but actually what they do is they just laugh in your face. And so this beats down your self-esteem. They tell you that you can't do it. They tell you that you don't have the ability, that you're not good enough. It's the same for our teachers. It's the same for our parents. We experience these moments where they tell us that we can't do something. They tell us that we're not good enough to go out there and do what we want. And the whole time, this crushes our self-esteem. So your ideals, image, and self-esteem are what makes up your self-concept. So let me explain this another way for you. And you may not be a big fan of him, but let me use the example of Donald Trump. Now, Donald Trump is the president of the United States, but he's also a very, very successful businessman. And in the 90s, he was a billionaire. And in the 90s, he lost a lot of money. In fact, he went from being a billionaire to being a millionaire in a very short space of time. So what does this mean? Well, his self-concept was that of a billionaire. So what happened over a very few short years, Donald Trump was able to increase his results, increase his money back to being a billionaire, because his self-concept was set at that level. His self-concept was set at that level. So if your sales are, if you're getting 100,000 every year, year after year, you're only getting 100,000 pounds, dollars, whatever it might be. That's because your self-concept is set at 100,000. Your self-concept is set at 100,000. So if you want to make more sales, if you want to earn more money, that means your self-concept, your ideals, your image, your esteem has got to grow beyond that of 100,000. So this is why it's not about taking action. A lot of coaches out there, a lot of trainers out there will say, you've got to take massive action. You've got to go out there, you've got to take action. But what the actual key fundamental is, the key principle here, is to grow your self-concept. Because if you want to get better results, your self-concept has got to be bigger, it's got to be more than the results that you intend to get. It's got to be more than the results that you intend to get. So your results will only ever exceed your self-concept. So that's why a lot of people out there are working on taking more action. But what it is actually that you need to be working on is your self-concept. Growing that beyond the results that you want to get, and automatically your results will rise with it. Just like Donald Trump went from being a millionaire back to being a billionaire, because that was his self-concept, your results will do the same. So I hope this has helped. I hope this helps you understand why it is that action isn't necessarily going to get you better results, but it is actually going to be your self-concept which is going to help you grow. So thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Speak to you soon.